All right, we're going to do the breakdown, the game-by-game breakdown of the stats of the Boston tournament, and then the overall for the season. This is not to replace the other comparison video. I think that's probably more important, but let's just take a look at this. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, neither team played that many games. One due to a forfeit and the other because they only played 3 games because they lost or whatever. But let's take a look at 17U Gold first. First game was kind of a replacement showcase game, sort of, against, it was supposedly against athletes, but again, it was against his other team who looked older for some reason. And it was a pretty absurd game. You guys won, and you had a 56% effective field goal percentage, and the numbers are really good. You actually had 36% offensive rebound percentage as well. But the thing that stood out was you guys were 15 of 30 from 3, which is pretty absurd. To illustrate a point, you guys are only 2 of 5 of 19 from 2. Really, really just a bizarre type of game. But when you look, when you're going to shoot 15 from 30 from 3, you're just going to win. But let's take a look at the shot chart just to kind of see what this looks like. I don't think I've ever seen a game like this. But at least the good thing is that there's only 2 mid-range shots. And not surprisingly, when you only shoot 2 mid-range shots and everything else is either, oh wait, oh, this was against House We Built. No wonder it looked funny. Against the athletes team, that's where you guys struggle from there. Yeah, you still only had 2 mid-range shots and only 1 floater, but you guys somehow were only 5 for 16 against at the rim. We could go through and see why that was, but that's really bizarre. But I don't care. In other words, if you're going to shoot from in here, we're going to make them probably more than 50% of the time. And here, you shoot 50% from 3, you're gonna win. That's just the bottom line. As a matter of fact, I'd probably be a little concerned because you're not going to shoot 15 for 30 from the 3 all too often. So again, if you take 5 of those away and go what you normally trend at, you probably lose because of these 2s, because you missed them. But from a shot selection perspective, I almost want to say you took too many 3s. If you're only going to take 16 at the rim, you don't really want to take 33s. Usually the way it's supposed to be is like 40% 3s, 40% at the rim, and usually people end up at 20% random. I prefer you have 0-20 than that, 0 random, but it's usually 40-40-20. Here it's more like 20-80. I don't know. Pretty strange game. But let's take a look at the box score. See where it came from. And then athletes is incorrect. It should have been another name. It was 70-55, and everybody probably lit it up, right? Well, actually, it was right. Weiss was 6 for 9, and Roddy was 5 for 9. And you know what's good about that? These are the best shooters on the team. So you get the best shooters on the team taking the most shots. This is exactly what I want to see. Okay, and that's why you won. The best shooters taking the best shots for them, and there you have it. No one else really stood out. Chris, not really good, although he was 9 of 11 from the line. I like that. Getting to the rim, getting fouled, certainly like that. But yeah, overall, pretty weird game. Makai only 2 for 5, 1 for 5 from the line, only 13 minutes. That's a little bizarre. This could be kind of a tracking error here. X was 0 for 0. That's a bad sign. We'll see what happens later on in the weekend. But anyway, you guys won really because Weiss and Roddy just made all their 3s, and we'll take it. Overall, pretty bizarre game. All right, let's look at the next game, which was they only played twice, right? That's too bad. So you played a really tough team. This I think this House We Built. Now again, Chris is much more optimistic than I am. He's used to just better teams, I guess. I thought this team was really good to be played against. I mean, at least really athletic. I don't know. They had a couple of really big boys. So I was worried what was going to happen. But guys, let's pull up the stats against House We Built. Yeah, only 46% effective field goal percentage. That's not going to do it. 18% turnover rate. That's a little more than you usually get. And 25% offensive rebound percentage is fine. But yeah, 46% effective field goal percentage is not going to work. So let's see where that came from. Yeah, it looks like 6 for 23 from 3. That's probably going to be the issue. But let's take a look at the box score. I mean, the shot chart. Shot chart from House We Built. I mean, not bad. I mean, you only shot 45 shots. That's also an issue, but pretty good breakdown. I mean, you shot from where you're supposed to shoot, but you just didn't make anything. I mean, unfortunately, I just don't have a lot of complaints. You know, 2 for 8, 0 for 2, 3 for 8, 1 for 3. You're going to track better than that in the future. So instead of going 2 for 10, 4 for 18, 5 for 21, 5 for 23, I mean, this team rates to usually get about 8. You know, that's what you guys shoot. So overall, so you add another 3 to that, you know, then you're right there in the game, if not winning. So I really don't have much of an issue with your shot selection here. And this is all we're really talking about. I'm not talking about your defense. I'm not talking about any of that. This is just the numbers offensively. So shot selection is fine. Let's take a look at the box score. Who did anything this game? Overall, just Ryan was fine, 3 for 7, tracking the way he normally tracks. Roddy, 2 for 8, not, you know, it's maybe 1 off of what he usually does. Mike kind of struggled. X, another game where he didn't make anything. It's not good. So overall, just again, just a kind of a nondescript game. Whoa, what is CJ? 0 points in 20 minutes? Only 1 shot? Oh, so that's not good. You can't be a starter and play 20 minutes in an AAU game and get 1 shot. That's you can't do that. Anyway, where was Makai here as well? Yeah, Makai definitely has to be a little more aggressive for sure. I mean, obviously, but I mean, he usually is, but I guess not this game. CJ, he was. This is really interesting. 4 fouls also. Maybe that was a part of it. Yeah, not a good game for him for sure. Okay, so let's take a look at the season stats. And this is just what we keep doing as we develop more of a sample size. These become, you know, much more relevant. So let's take a look at the entire season. And I did another video where I summarized this versus the other team, but we're gonna look at it. 54% effective field goal percentage, which to me is just insane. You know, I've seen a lot of this. I know Chris is saying we don't score, we can't. I don't know what to tell you. I'll bet you anything that your other teams did not have this effective field goal percentage. Maybe you got more shots off because you played faster. That's the best. That's the only thing I can think of about why you perceive that these teams scored more in the past. But trust me, no one's averaging more than this. This is, as a matter of fact, as the season progresses, this is probably going to trend back downwards. I mean, you're not going to have this team shoot 54%. This is, so if you think that this team is not scoring, I mean, you're either imagining it or you're just not playing maybe as fast as you used to. That's the only thing I can think of, because I promise you, no one's doing better than this. All right. Overall, we looked at the shot charts, but let's just look at it again for the whole season. Like I said, pretty good. We'll break it down by paints, 2s and 3s. That's always a good way to look at it. Yeah, less than 10% of your shots are these mid-range 2s. I prefer you not take the floaters, but we're going to agree to disagree on that. I did an extensive video I put up about why those are terrible shots, but you know what? You're the coach. I'm just going to tell you not to hit on 16 with a 7 showing. I can't force you to do it, or not to stick on 16 with a 7 showing, but I can't force you to do it. But this is fine. I mean, the less of these that we can do, the better. But I'm content with our shot selection, with the exception. And this team, as I talked about in the other video, if you break this down by all zones, you only have 19 shots of these like bad floaters, as opposed to the other team, which we're going to get to in the other video. But I think this team is great. Again, you're more disappointed than I am, but I think that Roddy and Weiss are freaking lights out. Let's take a look. Sorry, let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at the stats for the season. Athlete total, 14 games. Let's first sort by effective field goal percentage. And I can't explain to you enough. I mean, like Ryan Weiss and Roddy and Makat, 60% effective field goal percentage is just ridiculous. Okay. Ryan Weiss and Roddy are both shooting 40% from three. That is insane. I know you're like, oh, well, maybe your teams didn't shoot it. Believe me, I had shooters on my team. Okay. You can't have a kid at this level shooting 40% without paying homage to how good that is. Right? They're not playing shitty teams. They're not wide open. You know, we're not attacking zones where they're ignoring these people. These are playing out of the offense, and these guys are shooting 40%. These guys are lighting it up. I mean, you can't even sugarcoat this. So I'm actually a little worried that they're going to regress a little bit, but these guys are just killing it. Let's see who from two, who's struggling from two, who's under 50% from two. Knicks, Roddy, because he shouldn't even be taking any twos. Jackson, Cam, whatever. But everybody else is over 50% from two. I unfortunately, Chris, I have no complaints. All right, that'll do it for this team. We'll do the Crown 17U Black next.